allow the two children to have them before the delivery.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Maiyegun diary politico.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary na he be number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube. jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Hello there. Apologies for that. Just dragging the mouse, just won't work. So good morning to you, a good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Maiyegun live. And thank you very much for joining me. Remember, after reading the caption of the broadcast, please read the description of the broadcast as well. Then like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Maiyegun today, Maiyegun is live. Usually today is normally reserved for Sunday sermon, the no holds barred session of Maiyegun's Diary Political, the place where we always advise the politically corrected people to stay off for the sake of their own mental health. But it is not going to be Sunday sermon today. Rather, it's just going to be like the random gist of who is saying what and who is doing what in Nigeria. So just before we usher straight into the new week. So thank you very much if you have indeed shared this. So tonight we are starting with the outing of Aregbe Kabiru. That was yesterday in Lagos, where an event, where it was said that the members of PDP, APC, and what have you, that they decamped to the new coalition ADC. And at that event, Aregbe Kabiru told his audience that the reason why ADC had to happen now was because Nigeria needs to be rescued from Tinubu and his gang. Nigeria is bleeding. Nigerians are groaning, and some other stuff he said. So that's what we're going to start tonight, okay? Then, as usual, so we're going to go like everywhere. So I have an old clip of Obasanjo calling out the lawmakers, the Nigerian National Assembly, for increasing their own salaries. Like, how do you set your own salaries? So Tinubu and his gang are now proposing, in fact, they are working on another salary increase for the public office holders in Nigeria, because according to them, economic reality of today and the salary these guys are earning, they are no longer like, in part, like, they don't cover the hardship anymore. So they need to increase it again. Remember, it was the same Tinubu that increased, after removing his subsidy, right, increased salary of these same public office holders and judges too by 107%. So they are doing it again to be able to fit into the hardship you are facing in Nigeria today. As it is, morally wrong, but that depends on who is actually looking, because morality and moral view is probably not their forte, right? So let's start with that of Baba Kabiru. Start with that tonight. Please share the broadcast to shame the YouTube.
It is a long journey. One of our leaders in the government said that tell no lies, claim no easy victory. It will be a long and tough journey. But I see victory at the end of it. However, you are taking the first step in the right direction. I promise you all. We'll be part of this process. As you can see, APC is demonstrating the Samson complex by trying to pull down the nation on his head as his last act of political savagery. Nigeria is bleeding and the people are groaning. The APC government is feasting. That's the Samson complex. Nigeria is bleeding. The people are groaning. The APC government is what? Feasting. The question on everyone's lips is whether Nigeria will survive the 4 years of this administration. That's the question. Inshallah, Nigeria will survive. All across the nation, the specter of insecurity looms large as sundry criminals lay siege on the people, making economic and social activities nearly impossible. And people now live in mortal fear of threats to their life and property. They even use death threats to intimidate us. Government threatening citizens that they will kill you. Medical services and especially drugs have become so exorbitant that a lot of sick folks are now waiting to die. Except the people who come their way from somewhere. The cost of living is so high that starvation is literally stalking the land. Those who are a little bit comfortable are being drowned by requests for assistance from the needy in our society. We have the lessons of history to learn, and we must take it. We must not take it for granted. We have the lessons of history to learn, and we must not take it for granted. The people are the center of politics. People are the center of politics and the government. Any politics, any government that refuses to focus on the people as its major responsibility is a failure. Yes. Any government, whether democratic, autocratic, military, authoritarian, monarchy, spiritual, any government at all, theocracy, or by whatever definition that does not make the welfare of the people and their well-being the basis of governance will soon lose relevance and die. There is a limit to which people can be squeezed and prove what something eventually gives. This is why our mission is urgent. Our intervention has become absolutely necessary. We must act down to save the nation. And why must we save Nigeria? I will not read that. Why is it important, compulsory, and mandatory to save Nigeria? In the first instance, Nigeria deserves our intervention to save on its own, because when you are talking about over 200 million people, rudderless, there is a nightmare for the continent. That's not the only reason why we must save Nigeria. The most important reason why we must save Nigeria is that Nigeria, it is a...
They want to save Nigeria. Bolong Toby. Come on. Praise God. Because they want to save Nigeria. These are the characters whose records are very much public. It is just to know that a country that is in dearth need of, also in dearth of good leaders, right, would have to make do with, the rogues that are available. That's the situation with Nigeria, unfortunately. They are the guys who have so much money because they've managed to steal so much money from the system in different capacity. And indeed, since the people are poorer than those who can actually really fight back, so characters like this will tell you they want to rescue us, rescue us from APC. It's not wrong. Nigeria is bleeding. The people are groaning. APC, Aregbe is feasting. But it was part of that feasting for at least 8 years. And, but yeah, that's the money. We did that in the backyard of Tinubu. And to be honest with you, the Ronokus are very, very, very pissed. To them, they are waiting for the marching order. The marching order, like, go deal with them. Because to them, Aregbe Mugubaba Kabiru should actually be banned in Yoruba land. He must never go anywhere and campaign against Tinubu. There are others who are like, no, you can't trust them. Or this may even be the handiwork of Tinubu. They are so close. They are so that. How did they part ways that he is now leading he is the secretary of ADC, so he's now leading the charge against Tinubu. Can you trust him? Is it for real? Something is really amiss. So many questions, right? The PDP themselves, by the way, they met in Zamfara. This was yesterday. I'll tell you what they kind of like arrived at, because they categorically told Wike to be very cautious, so don't get us mad, though. And I'm waiting for Wike's reply as well, right? But Aregbe Mugubaba Kabiru said they want to save Nigeria, to rescue Nigeria from APC, Aregbe, especially for the sake of the 200 million Nigerians. That could be motivating. Yeah, that's motivating enough. Now, the man on the Glock, the also the rock. Remember him? Paul Adefarasin spoke to his own congregation today, and somehow he managed to remind all of them that, maybe not directly, but indirectly, that you see, you are the reason why your prayers are not being answered or may never be answered is simply because the God that you are praying to for Nigeria didn't actually create this space. So this contraption was created as a business venture and for profit making, and so it's not got any God's hands in it. So that means they've lied to a lot of you for so long. And they are admitting it now. So like we need to pray to God, for God Almighty to, how? They didn't create you. Adefarasin, listen.
Nigeria, I do not believe it was created by God. I don't believe it. A fellow called Top Goldman, his girlfriend, she named the country. And also Lugard. This nation was created for the business of the British purse, so they wouldn't have to bear the bill for the not as prosperous and wealthy part. And they had a deal concerning the Sudan, and those who care to buy the book, buy the book. It's written by a fellow called, the name of the book is The Martyrdom of Man. As far as Africa was concerned, 2 empires got together and decided that this land will go to the sons of Ishmael, of the British. And the British are not, let me say it another way, Awolowo, Tafawa Balewa, Amadu Bello, and Azikiwe. They are not the founding fathers of Nigeria, in my opinion. The founding fathers of Nigeria are some men from Whitehall and a fellow called Top Goldman, his girlfriend, she named the country, and also Lugard. This nation was created for the business of the British purse, so they wouldn't have to bear the bill for the not as prosperous and unwealthy part of the country. That part of the country was Oriental in civilization, Eastern, particularly Middle Eastern. You cannot build the Nigerian identity without education. Nigeria by now should be the factory of Africa and the Western Hemisphere, yet we are the dumping ground for their second-hand and cheap goods. That means we need technical schools to come back. And these vastly poor people can get a quick education as to how to invent, how to manufacture. That's what China did. China is the factory of the world. She doesn't have enough capacity to give the whole world. We have people now who are poorer than their laborers. So we should be the factory. How are we going to get there? It's going to take men of justice and equity who will consider their total volition, their total preoccupation to determine how will we get this done. Draw a roadmap and then call the right people to build the nation whose builder and maker is God. That's not a 5-year job. It's not a 2-year job. It will take commitment, my belief, for at least 20 years. We may negotiate the U-turn and start the trajectory, but then hedge it in with concrete. So these mad people that think that the best industry in Nigeria is politics will not be able to find their way into government, any of the 3 R's. We don't need that anymore. And as we're speaking, your amen had better be loud, because I believe heaven has been waiting to hear this and to hear your amen. Because heaven will not act where men do not speak from conviction about what they want heaven to do on earth. Please give me a witness. I know you came for the sugar and the sweet. I will give you dessert soon. So the result is our country, though it is one of the wealthiest in the world, our nation is one of the poorest. Please understand the distinction between nation and country. Nation is a people subscribed, submitted to, and espoused to a value system of propriety, justice, and equity. If you give them a country, they will do good with the country. But if you give a motley crew a country, they will ruin the nation and the country. So which Nigerian is not corrupt? Which Nigerian? Because it has now become cultural and it has normalized. We don't see it as wrong anymore. The courts don't tell us the truth. And truth is not only to be told, it must be modeled. The second arm of government. Let me not go there. But if it is to be said, who will say it? If not now, when? If not the light of the world, who? If not the salt of the earth, who? The Bible says the church of God is the pillar and ground of truth. If everything else fails to tell the truth, the church must not depart from the truth. But I do believe that truth must never travel without love. And it mustn't travel faster than love. Otherwise, nobody's going to hear your truth. Grace and truth came. Grace means mercy. It infers love. But I need to get past all of that. Let's talk about the theology of the temple. There was an intentional shift that got in 4 years, $1 trillion US. Right now it is 200 billion US dollars. It is per capita. It used to be $3,000+ per capita 10 years ago. So we have been going backwards in GDP. That's why you and me are struggling. That's why the bill for the experience is unthinkable. That's why paying for groceries is challenging. That's why we are all dieting now. And they look and say, you're so slim. They don't know the real deal.
And that is what economy is. You get that now? Everybody is going to learn economics. And the time of speaking in tongues is almost over. Where everybody is going to tell themselves, like, listen, I want to be honest with you. It is not because you're not praying enough. It is not because you're not godly enough. It is not because you're not paying your tithe or you are not paying offering enough that your business is struggling, you are struggling and all of that. The reason why you are is because you have criminals in charge of your country who have destroyed your country and still destroying it. So no amount of prayer is going to spare you. You can pretend that God is going to take care of all your needs. You can say that to everybody. But when it is you, when you have to bring out your calculator to calculate what is coming in and what is going out of your own purse or your own wallet, and then you go no say, hey, God, they try you. Abi, that God that is providing for your need is trying, no. Or you will know better, Sha, from your wallet. So he's right when he said that he don't believe that God created Nigeria. There is no country created by God. And you can say, God said, let there be Venezuela. And then, boom, Venezuela. Oh yeah, there's no country created by God anywhere. People came together to form their countries, and those who they formed theirs for them, especially those ones they actually like enslaved and colonized, like they forced all of us together. We have nothing in common, and forced us together and called us Nigeria, Northern Nigeria, Southern Nigeria. Do you understand? So then, not with the intention of making us these prosperous people. No, the purpose was just for business. And the business from over 120 years ago is still ongoing. You just have different, business, your business dealers, the ones you call leaders. So if a pastor faces his own congregation and tells them the truth, say, listen, guys, maybe, we are faithful people, we are godly people, and we believe that our God answers our prayers and the rest of that. There are some certain things we need to tell ourselves. When you have rogues running a country, an economy, there is no how smart you are. It's just going to be a matter of time. Their corruption, their incompetency, and every other thing in there, that actually ruins a country. They say, if you want a textbook description or definition of how not to run a country or how to ruin a country, just collect the template from the ruiners of Nigeria. And they are working to increase their salaries too, right? Talking about everybody is now slimming down. This one is just by the way. Let me show you this person's personal experience 2 nights ago.
ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ìlú ìsúnmi o in fact ẹ wò ó gbogbo ẹ̀ tí wàá dogun ọ̀rọ̀ tí Awólọ́wọ̀ sọ fún wa ló máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣẹlẹ̀ kò sígbà tí revolution ní ṣẹlẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà tá à ní jà fúnra wa Awólọ́wọ̀ ti sọ pé a máa jà fúnra wa lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà ni o mi ò sí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ láti kan bí ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì sẹ́yìn mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ dé sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ báyìí sí ni mo dá gẹ́gẹ́ kí n ra top taste búrẹ́dì top taste tí mo rà ní 1,200 tẹ́lẹ̀ 1,500 ni mo bá báyìí sí òun lélẹ́yìí o mo rẹ̀ ti promise àwọn ọmọ mi pé màá bá wọn rà wálé bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ṣe máa rà nígbà la fẹ́ bọ́ lóko ẹrú ìjọba Tinubu kò favour anybody everybody ń pariwo àwọn ọlọ́jà gan ń pariwo wọn ò lè sùn wọn ò lè wo wọn láwọn àmọ́yàwọ̀ tó ti kú ẹtún wọn ti ọjà wọn lójú èyí lásán wọn pariwo títí wọn là ń dìbò fún yín àwọn Ìgbò wa fún ọ ṣe ẹ̀ ń sìn yín wọn pé kò tán ìbẹ́yìn ló kàn ṣé bá a ṣe máa bá lọ lélẹ́yìí ìjọba Tinubu ara ń ní àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù ìyà ń jẹ wá Nàìjíríà mo ń rìnsẹ̀ lọ lébàá sí ni o mọ́tò gan wọ́n pe Sango fún mi ní 800 naira ẹ̀rí orí ìrìn mo wà báyìí o kò sówó mọ́tò ṣé bá a ṣe máa bá lọ lélẹ́yìí ìjọba Tinubu ìyà ń jẹ àwọn èèyàn ẹ̀rọ ọjọ́ ọ̀la ẹ̀mọ́jọ́ táyì gbó kú Tinubu àti gbogbo ẹ̀yìn ìjọba tẹ̀ ń ṣe ìjọba òfò lé wa lórí ìyà tẹ̀ ń fi jẹ wọ́n ti tó kí ló dé ìjọba mẹ̀kúnnù ẹ̀ ń fìyà jẹ wá ẹ̀yin rèé o Ọlọ́run rèé o ẹ wá ń kàǹpé ìwèrè tí ò ní túmọ̀ ẹ̀ kówó jẹ ẹ̀ ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ fi ń tún ara yín ṣe ẹ̀ wo tàwọn mẹ̀kúnnù ṣé bá ṣe máa bá lọ lélẹ́yìí pẹ̀lú ògùn Ọlọ́run gbogbo ẹni tó ń da ìjọba Nàìjíríà rù ọ̀run á baṣẹ́ wọn jẹ́ àìsàn tí ipa owó kà ló máa jẹ́ tí pẹ̀lú ògùn Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú ẹ̀dùn ọkàn mo fi sọ̀rọ̀ o inú mi ò dùn rárá búrẹ́dì 1,500 rèé top taste 1,500 ẹ máa ṣòfò ní ẹ̀yìn ìjọba wa ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè.
Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning. Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. You know why I played you that clip? That was a Ronuku. I'm sorry if you don't understand Yoruba, I can help you. A Ronuku traveled out of Lagos, just one day out of Lagos, and he came back to Lagos. He decided that, oh, he will need to buy this bread for his children when he gets home. So I can, like, welcome daddy, you give them bread. Now that bread, according to him, used to be 1,200 naira. Just for him to leave Lagos for one day, and he came back, it is already 1,500 naira. So he had to use all the money on him to buy the bread. Now he couldn't even afford like transport fare home anymore. That was when he remembered, because he said from that place, so I don't know where he was, so to Songo will cost him 800 naira. So that moment he just gave it to him. It was like, I will just walk. That person in that video, except if he probably saw any lifts, was expected to walk for about maybe 35 to 40 kilometers or 45 kilometers back to where he is actually really going. So he would have to trek. That was what got him to bring out his phone. He said, Ìjọba Tinubu, this Tinubu's government is actually not favoring anybody. You said that the Igbos want to take Idumota. He didn't even know what he's talking. He said the Igbos want to take the Idumota. Look at us, we are suffering here. Eronuku, that's who they are. If somebody just call him and say, Shokoti, send your account, and they give him 5,000 naira, he will eat every word they said in that video. He will eat everything. Because he can now pay for transport. Maybe somehow, maybe even pay for 1,000 naira data on his phone so that he could go on social media to go and say, Baba Tinubu, thank you. Continue what you are doing. This government is working. Thank you, Honorable Olu. Thank you very much for your brotherly advice and for the support. Now 5,000 they give him. He will say that on social media. Once that money finished, he will then start the fasting. Like the fasting, until he can't take it anymore. He will scream again. The Ronukus, the Ronu bandits, and Ronu Nazis, And when the hunger catch them, that's when they always remember that Nigeria is not working. Some of them are so stupid because now mental disorder. So you get it's actually a mental disorder for anybody to tell you that he is a Tinubu supporter. You need to watch them closer. Apart from the guy men inside them, or those who know waiting they happen, those who actually know what is going on, cashing out from the whole thing. But you see all those goblins, all those vermins, all those sewage dwellers, the worst of the worst. It is a mental disorder. And that's why if you have any of them in your family, you probably may, have a clue of what you are dealing with. Give them money. Just give them 10,000 naira. They will go on social media and they will write a piece too and thank Tinubu, thank everybody and all of that. So when the hunger starts again, that is when they will scream. What kind of a country is this? Then the next day, I want you. You understand? So I don't really feel sorry for them. And you shouldn't say that. Elections have consequences. So everybody, they bear your own consequence, have been consequences. Here is somewhere in Kano. They were doing burial for APC because of this their ADC. Not in Kano. Somewhere in the north. Wike Gandola was also good. This one was in Kano. This was Gandola, the Aregbe mobile banking CEO of Kano. Anyway, Obasanjo did say that the real enemies of the people are the thieves holding political office in Nigeria, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. Now, again, this is another person that he would, normally they would say, listen to the message and ignore the messenger. And typically, right, if you're from Nigeria, it's so hard to separate the messenger and his message. It's a very, very tough one. But there are people who manage it too. Tinubu is proposing to increase the salary of the public office holders again. And they're likely going to announce that before the end of the year. In order to get people more confused, to buy into that, they are also flying the rumor that it's actually not a rumor, but they are flying this idea of renegotiating how they share the money, like how they share the monthly RMFAC or MAMFAC, revenue mobilization and sharing formula or something. Those guys. So they say they want to change how much the federal government will take, the states, the local governments, and stuff like that, so that federal government will take less and state and local governments will take more, right? But that is not the real agenda. Here is someone reminding everybody that morality or what have you ordinarily should tell them that this is not the right time, right? To be flaunting this kind of, like Aregbe Kabiru said, right? Nigeria is bleeding, people are groaning, but APC is feasting. Listen to this.
Well, thank you very much. It's actually, first and foremost, I have to align with most of Nigerians and a lot of the people who have, had their own opinion about this particular, new development. It's quite unfortunate, and I see it as insensitive on this part of government to really put this in front of Nigerians at this time. The timing is not right. Nigeria is going through a lot of both economic and political and social distress. We have high inflation, we have a debt crisis, we have an economy that needs to be revamped. We are, borrowing from anywhere we can find money from. And so at this time when politicians, and most especially in the eyes of the average Nigerians, are the ones who are actually earning more than anybody else. With the salary of, the average lawmaker makes, between 700,000 and 800,000 naira, or even up to 1 million naira a month in basic salary. Now, you talked about salaries and allowances. Of course, allowances, go as high as 10, 12 million. We've been told not too long ago that the average lawmaker goes home with about 15 million naira every month. How many Nigerians take that kind of pay home on a monthly basis? And so at this time when we as Nigerians are struggling with the reforms that have been put in place by the government and trying to cope with the economic hardships, the average civil servant and the average private sector worker is burdened by high prices and scarcity of goods and services. Now come up and put this in front of us that you want to now more than double the take-home basic pay of the president, lawmakers, members of the judiciary, who just got their 300% salary implemented a year ago. It's not just absurd, it's also near ridiculous. And so it's some people will say it's a smack in the face of Nigerians to even present this at this time. And so I don't approve it. What I would suggest to the RMAFC at this time, since they're already meeting in Kanu, is that they should try and discuss how they can reduce the allowances, because that is the big elephant in the room. Allowances that run between 8 million to 10 to 15 million naira every month for the average lawmaker, all those allowances have to go. These are people elected by us to represent us. Not only are they making millions of naira every month, they don't pay for health services because it's all part of their own package. They don't pay, for transport. They get vehicles that are maintained and fueled and serviced by our taxpayers' money. They have education allowances for their children, etc. And so they are already feeding fat on our own, sweat and our own tears and our own blood as average workers in Nigeria. So it's time for them to actually give back to us more than we are giving.
And of course, that is not even going to happen. People talk about these things, right? In a working country, right? You get to see proposing things like this alone would actually trigger a mass protest in the country. Not to talk of you even approving it. That can cost you your election. But simply because Nigeria is not a real place, so it's so hard to understand sometimes. So don't even try to, because they're going to do it. That's going to be the third time that Tinubu is increasing the salaries of these public officers. There's a court judgment against it, but it was ignored and disobeyed Even the judges that gave the judgment, they accepted the salary increase. Plus one big estate that they are building mansions for them in Abuja with a Wike. So it's unreal. That's why when Obasanjo met with them, I think this was last year or thereabouts. So that video resurfaced again. And this is where I'm going to say, ignore the messenger and listen to the message again, or just do you. You can swear for the messenger self if you want to. Shall listen. Here.
What is the character of the people that are in government? With all due respect, most of them should be behind the bar. And that is the truth. Most of them should be behind the bar. Some should even be in the gallows. Now, if these are the people that are ruling us, then what do you expect? It doesn't matter whether you make whatever you make it will not. So the point is that the character of the people that are coming to government, their attributes, the sort of people, who are they? In my own part of the world, even when you want to give a daughter to marry, you say, hey, look at the background. What is the pedigree? And that is one thing we really need to think about. How do we select leaders? What should be the character of the leaders we select? What should be their track record? What should be, where should we find them? Are they role models? Look at, in your own case, with all due respect, you are not supposed to fix your salary or your allowance. It's supposed to be done by the revenue mobilization and what? Okay. But you decide what you pay yourself, the allowances that you give yourself, newspaper allowances, pant allowances, sheeting allowances. You give yourself all sorts of things, with all due respect. And you know it's not right. It is not right. It is not right for me to be the one to determine what I pay myself. It's immoral. And then you are doing it. The Senate is doing it. And you beat your chest. And in some cases, even the executive give you what you are not entitled to. You all got 200 million naira. When we were talking about the suffering of the people who put you there, on top of the obscene salary and allowances you give yourself, you got 200 million naira. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not good for this country. So this is the thing we have to do. How do we ask people to suffer? And those people who are suffering, please bear with us when you are not showing any sacrifice. And I'm not showing any sacrifice. You are what you are. I am what I am because I'm a Nigerian. Those people out there are Nigerians. They are entitled. So let us look at things that way. For me, that is what we have to do. And as I've said, and I will keep saying it, we are all sitting on a keg of gunpowder, all of us. if we continue to do what we are doing, which is disregarding the interest of the common man. So we need general moral rearmament. General moral rearmament, to look at ourselves and say, yes, we are all wrong, and where we are wrong, then we need to do things differently. We cannot continue to do things the same way that have not worked for us and say, and then if we do that, we are deceiving ourselves. But let us look at things. What must we do differently at the executive level, at the legislative level, at the judiciary?
So again, it depends on how you possibly kind of like see that, right? But don't you think that once in a while that these guys, right, should at least cut down on their level of greed? So let me say something here, or let me give you some kind of, perspectives here. Once you get either appointed or elected into any public office in Nigeria, right, your basic salaries are well defined. And what should be your basic allowances? But what the criminals in Nigeria, what they have done is that the salary of the president of Nigeria is officially 5.5 million naira. That's the salary of the president. The vice president of Nigeria's salary is 3.5 million naira. And that's their recent salary, by the way, after their 104% increase. So then when you now come down to the Senate President, the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and all of them, their own salaries, actually, their own salary started from just 2 million naira. As you say, a Senate President will get maybe 2 million naira because an average salary of a senator is 1.5 million naira, which is the salary of the Speaker. While the House of Representatives, House of Reps members, their salary is put somewhere around 1 million, 1.1 million naira. Do you know how much is the salary of a state governor officially? 1.5 million naira. That's the salary of a governor. Similarly, when you go check the salary of the House of Assembly members, their salary was 450,000 naira. Right now, their salary is just about 770,000 naira. That's the salary of the State House of Assembly members in Nigeria. That's not how they get paid. That's not what they are paid. The president of the country will get free vehicles because they have pool of vehicles, aircraft, and all that. That's for the president. And from that pool, right, you have the National Assembly leadership. They have their own pool of cars, as well as presidential jets catering for their leadership. Then you have the military leadership now. They have their own pool of vehicles taking care of them after all their salaries. Like once they put you there, you are entitled to this number of vehicles. And throughout the time you are going to be in that position, the fueling and maintenance of that vehicle, remains the responsibility of the state, right? And then your security, the security of your wife, your family, yourself, and by extension, maybe your girlfriends too, is covered by the state. You don't pay for it. They live in free mansions, government house. They live in free mansions with in-house steward staff that serves them and their family. All paid for, the food paid for. and everything inside the house is paid for by the people. All they have to do is just parking. So this is where their greed now sets in. The president's office now have to work out how much he will spend on food, how much he will spend on clothing, how much he will spend on medicals, how much he's going to spend on cars. He will now determine that. And then he started putting percentages on those allowances. The percentages placed beside his salary. For example, wardrobe allowance. Wardrobe allowance, right, is put at maybe 200 or 300% of their basic salary. Right? Feeding allowance, 15, 20% of their basic salary. Television viewing, television allowance, reading newspaper allowance, this or that. So they work the whole thing that the president of the country can't even disclose how much it takes home. But I have an idea. The president of Nigeria and those criminals who are working for them, they have worked it in a way that the president of the country actually probably get paid in dollars. They work something out again, they call it security votes. These greedy criminals. Security votes, that is the money that is allocated to the office of the executive, the money to spend in maintaining security. And that money can run into hundreds of billions of naira. Entitled. So they amended the law, they put out different kind of edict and all that to ensure that all this money, an average senator will walk home with 55 million naira. That's not his salary. From 1.5 million naira, he's walking home with 55 million naira. And I still see people who are saying that, they are earning 15 million. It's like some of you are not really up to date. When the senator in Nigeria were earning 15 million naira, that was way back in 2010 to 2015. When Bokuwari was there, an average senator was earning over 30 million naira, 35 million naira to be precise. Today, with Tinubu's increased salary for them, 107%, the inflation and the rest of that, none of them takes home less than 55 million naira today, but they will get more because that money is really too small for them to maintain the lifestyle that they have. As if to say they were not living, they were not maintaining their families before they decided to run for public office. So the greed has now made them so unmanageable. The system they have foisted on you is not sustainable. And Obasanjo was right. They are sitting on the keg of gunpowder. But some people are saying, Aba, they don't pour water inside the gunpowder. It no fear explode again. They have demoralized Nigerians, right? They have psychologically, right, sort of like defeated them. So if you think that Nigeria is still sitting on the keg of gunpowder and you are waiting for it to explode, you may wait forever because you have to see some signs in the people themselves that they are done. But that sign is not that strong. So yeah, Obasanjo may be right or wrong, but let him finish. Here is the other part of what he told them.
At the judicial level, at the civil service level, even at the private sector level. Because we are all in the same boat. And if that boat sinks, we all sink together. Even if you have been stealing, you have to stop stealing. Because your name, your family, your pedigree, where is that today? Even when the man is stolen, you will say, now you don't go steal, leave him. We should never stop looking at our system, but let us look at ourselves. We have to reposition ourselves. And the harm that we are doing to ourselves in Nigeria, we are not doing to Nigeria alone. We are doing to West Africa. We are doing to Africa. And we are doing to the black race all over the world. Because God doesn't make a mistake. We have the largest concentration of black people in the world in this small land area called Nigeria. And if the black man will make it, it has to be Nigeria leading the black man for making it. To the extent that we are not making it.
Now, so that the deceivers that time say we be giant of Africa. Remember? Said that we were the giant of Africa, and because of that, an average Nigerian, right? An average Nigerian, when they see other Africans, they feel like they are their big brothers. Don't lie. How do you feel when you see other Africans? You just feel like you are the big brothers. Yeah. Oh, you're from Ghana. Oh, Charlie, how are you? And all that. But you are dealing with them like you are the big brother because throughout your childhood, the criminals running or ruining Nigeria told you that we are the giant of Africa. Maybe we were, or we were supposed to be. I mean, Obasanjo, during his own time, as a military leader, right? As bad. To his legacy, he was able to build these refineries that have now become moribund in Nigeria. It was him. Nigeria was building our own ship. Nigeria was actually like building, or should I say, manufacturing our own weapons. As far back as late 60s, early 70s. You hear about Niger Dock now. Niger Dock is not just a name. Niger Dock was like a place where they were actually building ships. No be canoe, no be boat, ships, including military kind of like a ships. They were building them. If you have, countries who are all these vessels and all that, they were sending them to Nigeria for repair. So that was probably like could make Nigeria the giant of Africa until Obasanjo returned, I think 30 years later, 1979 to 1999. 20 years, was that 20 years later? Yeah, he returned 20 years later and all those things were gone. And Nigeria was all over the place begging for loans. And it didn't do bad, except for that chance that it was supposed to actually put Nigeria on the right path. And what was the right path? For somebody like him who witnessed the independence, the genocidal war, and the successive military program and the rest of that, then he got a second chance, rather than put Nigeria on that path where everybody can just be on their own, as it was before pre-1966. Something that he was the only person who could do that at that time and get away with it. Or rather, he chose to want to stay even further as the president of Nigeria, which is now the famous third term, as you know. So that's why when people look at Obasanjo, they're like, no, like, who do you think should do what you are now thinking of? You get that now, like, who do you expect to do it? Dele Farotimi said that maybe God preserved Obasanjo's life. That is very healthy, and is as we can see, is very much sane and lucid. So meaning he lived this long to realize the vanity that he helped to forcefully keep together, for God knows why. Bokuari is gone, Babangida will soon join them, Abdusalami too, Obasanjo as well, but he's very active. He's not even giving any sign that he's going to leave anytime soon. So they can see that all these years of keeping this contraption together, now they are watching it being blown into pieces by the APC, and there's almost nothing they can do. So maybe people like him would die heartbroken, because Obasanjo believes that he is the only Like he's the only Nigerian that really, really love Nigeria, care for Nigeria. And he's the only person who can actually fix Nigeria. There was a time he believed that so much. I don't know if he still does. You know? So people say, when did Nigeria miss it? How did Nigeria miss it? I say, well, take a look at the characters who have led the country and what they did, as well as what they didn't do or chose not to do. You have your answer. How did you arrive here? It is Tinubu's turn. By the time he is done, you will not recognize this your Nigeria again. I promise you. The likes of Obasanjo and co probably will live long enough to see to that end too. Now for PDP. So thank you very much. I got PayPal donation. I actually got two. So in fairness, right, in the last 2-3 days, I've actually raised like about 200 and maybe 200 pounds, 215 pounds or so, right? So every penny counts, and I appreciate everyone, including those who reached out to me via the, what do you call it, the bank account, right? Thank you. So now PDP or PDP Governors, Bala Mohammed, Ajogba Trophy Oshun, that's Governor Jackson Deleketi Oshun. You have a Solomon Kinde Ibadan. They said they have about 10, because right now we don't even know how many PDP governors they have left. 10 and a half, I'm not sure. So they met in Zamfara, where they, in show of, it's like a kind of a show of solidarity, all right, to say, no, this time around they want to solve their problems. And whether Wike likes it or not, it doesn't matter. If Wike put Ed right now, they will crush him. Kind of like a communique sent out to say their planned convention for November, where they want to choose their leadership and be ready to face Tinubu in 2027, is on course and nobody should derail it. I was going to share that yesterday, but now I'm doing it, okay? Listen to this. The audio is not that audible, but it's manageable. Listen. It's like a communique to one with Wike.
Sorry, what you question is the chairman of our great party, PDP, Excellency Maiyegun, our chairman of our great party, the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, all the excellencies that are here with us, Chairman Board of Trustees, and other members of the BOT, as well as the National Working Committee, Deputy Governors of Trustees, Chairman of Trustees, PDP, Secretary of Government, Chief of Staff, our former governors and ministers that are here with us, I welcome you to Zamfara State, and I hope you are having a good time so far. We're all here to discuss very, very important and critical issues that affect our party and discuss the way forward, how this party will be stronger and stronger, so that we can face the challenges ahead of us before 2027. I therefore welcome every one of you, and I wish us a successful deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, the chairman of our party, Your Excellencies, my colleagues, especially our host, our very handsome and very nice person, Governor of Zamfara State, Brother Lawa, my brother and my colleague, the Governor of Adamawa, my brother and colleague in the Emirate Council of Bauchi, the Tinubu of Bauchi, and the Governor of Bayelsa. The Governor of Taraba, my also neighbor and brother. The dancing governor, the most amiable and amenable governor now around. The governor of the my brother, our leader, the deputy chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, the governor of Oyo State, Sheyi Makinde. My leader, the former Senate President and Chairman of the POC, sorry, the Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, who was there to receive us. We are very grateful. The Chairman of the former Governors Forum, where we will soon be there, and the former Governor of Niger State, and elder statesman, Babangida Aliyu, the Chairman of the former Ministers Forum, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Kabiru Tamimi Turaki, distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and of course, leader of the Minority Caucus in the Senate, Senator Abba Moro, and his colleague and our leader from the Northeast of Nigeria, Governor Ibrahim Ambombo, the National Organizing Secretary of the party, Madam Umar Bature, other party leaders that are here, members of the cabinet of Zamfara State, our colleagues, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the governors, we are very delighted to be in Zamfara. As I said last night, it was a pleasant effect on us. And of course, that salutary effect is going to be on our deliberations today. We have a very rich agenda. We have always gone around as a tradition that we inherited from our colleagues who left the forum to go around and discuss and deliberate and enforce what different peer review mechanism where we learn from each other the art of responsibility and governance. Again, we are here, even by virtually coming here, we have learned a lot where governance can reverse a lot of issues of governance and challenges like poverty, neglect and abandonment, as exemplified by the government of Dr. Lawan. We will discuss more on party challenges, how we reposition our party to go forward. We will also discuss matters of national interest, issue of governance, the challenges of the subnational and even national issues of the National Assembly, the absence of equity and justice in governance, impunity and abuse of power. We are going to discuss all issues that have to do with us as a country, so that together we can move forward. At the end of the day, we will be better informed, we will have collaborated and interacted with each other on the way forward. And I assure you, members of the public.
No. So, massive time. So that's Bala Mohammed, who is the, leader of the PDP Governors. He wants to be president too in 2027. He is a Tinubu guy. It's not just with a Wike that is a Tinubu guy in that circle. He is. And he is not running to be president under PDP for the sake of the 2027. It is, they are all targeting 2031. Then you have Soloma Kende Ibadan, who is also rumored to be, attempting to give it a shot. There is also a Babangida Aliyu, the former governor of Niger State. He is also part of that meeting. He is the guy who said, Tinubu should be allowed to do his 8 years before anybody can then judge him or not. That he doesn't see any reason why anybody should be contesting with him in 2027. He is a leader in PDP. So the whole thing is so complicated. And when people tell you that, there's a chance that this whole thing may end up as Tinubu's bigger game. But some are like, no, come on, stop. Like, stop giving them the credits for what they are not really capable of. In all, we'll find out, okay, pretty much soon. And then we're also going to hear from Wike soon, because remember, Wike called his own guys and they released a press statement where they distanced themselves from the PDP convention. And primary problem of PDP, by the way, just a reminder, is who controls the party. When Wike was founding the party, yeah, he had all his guys everywhere. It was like in key places. Unfortunately, the guy they gave him as the the guy they pulled up as their acting chairman, Damagun. This was after they have used court case and the rest to remove the one that was there, right? So who controls the party and for what? The last time Wike felt like he was controlling the party, when he was founding the party, he expected to be rewarded with the party's ticket in 2023. Then he got burnt. And the trauma from that has now become the pandemic that has befallen PDP. It has now become the Trojan horse to make it easier for Tinubu to be the puppet master, pulling all the strings. So when the likes of Makinde and others felt like, oh, you know what? How about we stop doing this court confirmation and the rest, right? How about they go on and do their convention and choose, their leadership? So Wike is now crying out to say they want to remove him from, the decision-making, the part or the faction that we actually decide who becomes what. And if that should happen, right, Wike's real agenda of decimating PDP would almost become impossible or not so effective like it is right now. So that's the battle. So Wike and his guys are probably going to go to court to stop the convention, and the story that will follow it after that is just going to be like from one court case to the other to another. PDP. So you probably would continue to look for where, you should stop looking. I wanted to say you should continue to look for where the savior will come from. There's no savior coming from anywhere. We would have to save ourselves. And to be honest with you, when people see the sign, we have had this kind of experience in the past, right? And of recent too. As divided as people are, as disinterested as people are sounding when it comes to that contraption, whenever most of us see the determination of at least some Nigerians, which we have seen in the past, it is always contagious. The same people who have told you that this or that is impossible, you will just see them, they will rally around and then the whole thing will swell. And that spark is what people are looking for. What is going to be that spark that will bring everyone together enough to actually really confront these guys? Because they are treating you like you're already conquered. That's how they treat you, like treating you like you're already conquered. How you feel, what you say and all that are pretty much like inconsequential. They will still do what they will do, whatever they choose to. Yeah? So there is no help coming from anywhere. It has to be us. Yeah? And when that time is, when we get to that time, there will be signs. there will be signs. There are those of us who have said it severally that, giving out information, the correct information, to keep people much informed, helps their minds, and at the same time, it also helps them in decision making. Most of the things that we put action to, they start from the mind. Yeah. And if you have the right information where your mind is pretty much like revolutionized enough, so when the time comes, you will see the sign. There will be signs. There will be. Today, on the series of when Nigeria happens to you, it happens in different categories, different days, and there is no dedicated time, day, place that Nigeria can happen to you. It can happen anywhere, right? Today is Sunday. So for those who still, bleeding, groaning, struggling under this core loser regime, which is like everywhere, right? So in Abuja, those who went out, and Okada guys who went out to go and do the Sunday runs, right? Weekend runs. Small chop, right? Ended up in the hands of another public tout, thugs, who are on the road to extort, the vulnerable Nigerians in the name of task force on a Sunday. So one of them kind of pretended to be a passenger going somewhere, stopped the bike, sat on it, and then he took the bike. I saw one in Ogbomoso, but this one was in Abuja this morning.
This thing is very wrong. Very wrong. Today is Sunday. How can we doing this thing? Today is Sunday.
It's very, with my family today, but because of write it to
I'll put it up. I work in AIT. If I go, I'll send this to my Ghana. For weekend like this, people will be doing this thing. This is very wrong. Why did you deceive the guys as you are a person? You carry back as if this is an illegal work. This is an illegal work. Give him his bike. Give him his bike. You are doing illegal work. Today is Sunday. Give him his bike. This is an illegal work. You are doing an illegal work. This Sunday. Look at them. See their face here. They are doing illegal work. Today is Sunday. They are seizing people's bike. Here. Illegal work. I'll put you on TV. You will know. What kind of nonsense is that? Today is Sunday like this. You think you are doing this thing? Yeah, go and grind this. Sunday, on Sunday. We will take this matter up. Where is the owner of the Okada? Okada, come here. Come.
Sure you get. It is a dog eat dog kind of a place, because those ones, they can only survive on extorting people like that. Pay them 500 naira or pay them 1,000 naira so that you can have your bike back, And if you push it too much, you get to see those who send them, Here is one very sad story, very short, and I'm going to ask you to put up your emotional intelligence. Is that not what you're going to need to be able to undo an emotional thing? It's a very sad story, right? So a young man was suffering from kidney failure, right? And the story got picked up by someone who is a family member, and they decided to go and crowdfund. So they went public on social media. They raised money. I didn't grasp how much, right? But it was alleged that they raised over 5 million naira. And it all started he shared, this young man's picture, I would say cousin. Shared this cousin's picture. and got the attention of our followers of social media. And they said, oh, we can help, like give us an account where to send money to, this or that. And she's just like, subconsciously somehow, right? She gave the father's bank account. People donated, like they donated quite some cash. As the father just disappeared from the radar. So by the time the young lady visited back again to see and say, well, where's Chinasa, so I think that's his name. Chinasa, so yeah. Where is he? And they told her that he's dead because the father did not actually take him for any medical care. Rather, he took the money to buy himself a passenger bus so that he could be running his own transport business. So when the young lady confronted him, right? She at the point couldn't even hold back the tears. But that she shared that with us. Okay. Sad one.
Okay, Ibugo ya. And you are not happy, Abi. Because as if the happy now, Ibugo Akachuku. Egwala no ya ma digo ti every year here. You will mezo e dikis welebu. You will mezo e dikis welebu better na keda Akachuku kan na joge. Keda Akachuku kan na joge, keda Akachuku no. Keda Akachuku pati na za. Better keda Akachuku kan na joge, pati na Akachuku na Akachuku.
Okay, millions of naira ke na account to be millions of naira ke na account to be unu we hore kata this boy ona unu hore kata this boy si bai na you we meri vedu n'ogu unu hore kata this boy ona you ma adinata ikula ida uti mmadu na agwa na emeri ibe ni no ma anata kita onwugo e na akware ke ebe millions of naira ha kita ke ebe odo afu ni ata ko ta ko ona agbozina osobia ya ka na afu igu bia agbozina osoto no ka na afu igu millions of naira unlie ha gu gini unlie okwonwugo agbana ọsọ adịghị eto otu ndị mmadụ ga-afịa ego ole ka enye ndị mmadụ ga-afịa ihọrịa this boy ebiriba ị ga-akọwalị ya ebiriba maka ịma ihe ime mana ịmara obuka agụta achọ obuka gị confuse bonata ịchọkata ya okwe ịconvince ị na-alata
but I let this man because I said I won't get from that to your woman. Okay, we go kiss you.
True story. You know? Now, that is not as heartbreaking as some of the comments I actually read on that video before I decided to come and share it with you. The man had his own supporters, sympathizers, Nigerians, where I got that video from. There were Nigerians who were saying, oh, I know it's a very sad thing, but Nigeria is very hard right now. The man needs to care for the other children. So he made a smart move. Even if they give the boy a kidney, there's no chance that the boy will survive. A Nigerian who has no full details of what's going on, or just other than watching the video, he watched the video, took his time, brought out his phone, and he started explaining why what the man did is probably not bad if you come to think of it. That instead of wasting that money on the boy, that he got something that he could be working with and he can take care of. So if any child falls sick tomorrow, He won't need to come and beg for money. Think about that. I read comments, Papa Mo will buy payment. No. Something is actually wrong. A lot is wrong with a lot of people. If you can have an intrusive thought, some of the things some of you type on social media, there are times that you say, oh, it's just sarcasm or it's just banters. But there's some intrusive thoughts that you don't, Baba, if they put gun for your head, you're not supposed to post them on social media because it tells more about you. Those unsolicited advisors on social media. They were there quick. And if you try to say, wait till they worry you the grace SKS, they go turn them to your father. Now this and that, they will start abusing you. And you get to know that more. We are actually living with sick people. We are coexisting with sick people, but they look normal. Oh. They are not. Oh. Number one, it's not like as if to say you are selling, people are selling their properties. They are selling their valuable properties just to take care of their health. So in this day and time, when people crowdfund for you, Papa, it's like lifting a load off you. But unfortunately, when you crowdfund for poor people, they're having stomach ache. You see, this stomach ache has been worrying me since I was 5. How did you know? My mom told me. I've been suffering from it since I was 5 years old. And now, I've had all my children. I've got 3 children and everything. I'm still suffering it. They said it's the thing that will kill me. Except if I have money to do operation. How much is the surgery? 2 million naira. I do have 2 million naira. Say, okay. Let's see what we can do. Maybe we should get you the 2 million naira. Now, carry that 2 million naira, give it to that person who has been suffering for maybe 35 years and 40 years, this stomach pain. And with 2 million naira, she could live a very healthy and peaceful and happy life. Carry 2 million, give her. She will first go by a week. 350,000. The next thing, she will decide to just go and buy a new phone, 800,000 naira iPhone. And when you say, so how far with the surgery, the 2 million we give you, my sister is a nurse, and she said that there is one medicine that I have to use, that medicine is the best. So they said that I should not do surgery. Who said that? They said, my pastor. My pastor said I should not do surgery. If I do surgery, I'm going to die. So what did you do with the 2 million naira now? I want to start business. I want to be doing business. Business. You're Newton knowing law. It's crazy, man. That's not the first time. There was a time I shared a video of a man and his wife who got millions of naira in donation for their daughter who was suffering from the same thing. The old man collected the money and he used the money they donated to go and buy speaker, stereo, microphone, and what have you, and chairs inside his church. When they said, Baba, we gave you this money, you are supposed to. So God told him that the child will die. So he decided to donate the money, to use the money to develop the house of God. True story, true story. Sad. I'm very sad, But here in Anambra, I wanted to watch this video. The reason why I wanted to is that in Nigeria, if you remove the insecurity, right, from that contraption, Nigerians can grow their own food because they've always been growing their own food. But criminal politicians have used policies to kill so many of these agricultural sectors, right? So that they could, continue to encourage their friends who are importing food to Nigeria. Now imagine with little incentives and security, imagine what a farmer who is able to put all this together using his bare hands, cutlass and hoes. And when he harvested this from his farm, what came to my mind was, imagine if this man actually have access to, he's given a little incentives from mechanized farming to motorized, well-tarred, motorized farm roads, as well as storage facilities that will preserve his farm produce so that it can reduce any waste and all that, make money. Imagine what life would be like for him and possibly millions like him. Watch this video. I'll speak from a farmer that just harvested his yam in Anambra.
Yeah, good everyone, it's about to farm. So guys, this one we are going to the market. All this I've been saying that our customer came. So this one that I prepared for her, inside this boat is 900 yam. So we're gonna be offloading it, taking it to our marketplace and where it will be offloaded. Wow, bro, I didn't even know this boat food to this extent. I was inside, I didn't even know. But when we were going, people were telling me, the load is too much, the load is too much. But no, I've been driving since now. I've been driving engine since, so I know how to do it. So here we go. I've started the engine. And now we pray for safe journey, but thank God we got there safe and we also came back safely. That is it. So the dice started rolling, the dice was rolling, living life, dice rolling, till we got there and we offloaded it. And we came back safe, which means the dice is on our side. Yeah, so good everyone, it's about to someone. So guys, this one that I'm doing, so this CDM, this one that we plan to get those big ones, those big tubers. So guys, this is how we store it. This is how we store it. You can see where I'm keeping it up there. So you can see where I'm keeping it now. I'm giving someone is up there. My junior brother is up there. So I'm giving him the yam and he's arranging it up there. So guys, this is the seed yam that we buy from market. Then we replant it to get those big tubers. This one that you're seeing, so we replant it next year. Look at where he's keeping it. Look at how he's arranging it. Because after this one now, we'll set fire under it for the yam to get dry, like for the flood, like the water that is inside to be dried. I don't know if you are getting my point. So guys, this is one that we replant next year to get those big tubers. Are you getting me? So you can see it after we buy from the market, after we buy those small ones from the market, then we replant it. This one has just stayed only for maybe 3 months now or 4 months. So as we are keeping it, the thing will stay till ending of December, January, February, then we replant it again to get big.
So do you get my message, right? So imagine where you have thousands of them. Insecurity is not an issue. So it used to be like that. We used to receive all these trucks and trucks and trucks of bananas, yams from all over the place, especially to us in the Southwest. You know, you get to know the bananas that are from the East. You get to see some of the best cabbage and other vegetables from Benue. You get to see more vegetables too, by the way, from the Sokoto, Borno, and other places where they actually grow, onions as well. Insecurity had actually damaged a lot of that, unfortunately. So just imagine it that all these billions and billions, trillions and trillions that these guys are budgeting on, fake projects, over bloated their project, white elephant projects. Imagine if they actually goes into improving agriculture for real. People can feed themselves. They can create jobs. Industries can use some of those farm produce to make some other end products. Yeah. But with insecurity and corruption, you can't be like, say, the world is like, Nigeria is like a weapon fashioned against you. You just have to start saying the Lord's Prayer. Lord's Prayer, our Father who art in heaven. Maybe. But we'll leave that one. And let's take a bit of a stop because this was in Abuja as well, between the police and the motorist on a Sunday, no Okada. So they said he's recording them while they were extorting people. So they left the people they were extorting and they came to him. Now watch the video. Yeah.
I said, the best is Tony. What did you do? Jesus. Say that with me. Say that with me. There you go, Shisha now. Okay. If you catch me, oh yeah, no. But I don't know where to now, cause. Why you pursuing me? What? Okay, you are beating him. You are beating a lawyer. Where is the lawyer? What? You don't die. You are beating a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. Oh yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, no problem. Ah, okay. You don't arrest lawyer. What? I swear, okay? If you like, I'll talk to him. What? You. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no. I'm not smell anybody. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no. Esa moto. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no. This thing, you got what? Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no.
You the beat lawyer. You the beat lawyer. Nigeria. Policemen, they do not want their acts to be captured on the camera because they just don't know who is that person recording. Yeah, it is Nigeria. It's why they prayed for you that but Nigeria not happen to you. Come on, say amen for your own good, because if it does, you'll be lucky if you live to tell the story. You know, some don't live to tell the story, unfortunately. Like this community in Kwara, where it is now said that the Fulani terrorist attack or attacks has remained very much consistent enough that the Fulani terrorists have informed the community that if they want them to stop attacking them, then they should buy their peace. 100 million naira. Or we will continue to come in and kill you, attack you. So a small community and others, everybody just had to bail. Like, Baba, everybody left their town because they can't pay the 100 million naira the Fulani terrorists are demanding inside Nigeria. Watch this.
Hello, good afternoon. This is This is Nanoku, a community under Patigi local government, Kwara State, Nigeria. We are the members of this community, and as you can see, nobody in this community, everybody has fled for his or her life, for the safety of their lives. Everybody has left the community. As you can see, the status at which the community is now is devastating, because nobody in this community, as you can see, this community has the capacity of about over 1,000 people, and as you can see, you cannot find a single person in this community. Everybody has left because bandits and kidnappers are coming in day after day to terrorize us and kidnap people. As you can see, currently, three of our members are in their custody. They are demanding for hundreds of millions for them to free those that are in their custody. As you can see, this is our church. This church has capacity of more than 1,000 people, and as you can see, nobody, no single person in this church today. Today is Sunday, and no single person in the community that will go into the church and pray, because everybody has left. As you can see, this community is devastating day after day. About 10 days ago, they have been running for their lives. Some people do come in the daylight. They will come and take care of their farm product. But now you cannot even go to farm. You could not go to farm because they will come into your farm and kidnap you, and they will be demanding for ransom of hundreds of millions. Please, we are pleading to the government of Kwara State and the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the chairman of Patigi local government that they should come to our aid and rescue us from the hands of these people. Because as you can see, many of our farm products are there. They are done for harvest, and we could not harvest them because when you go to farm, they will come for you and they will kidnap you. If you refuse to follow them, they will shoot you and eliminate your life. See, and what they are demanding for is what we cannot afford. Millions of, hundreds of millions, millions of nairas is what they are demanding for, and we cannot afford for it. How do they want us to survive? And we have been pleading to the Kwara State government, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and even the local government that they should come to our aid. They should send down security personnel that they will come and secure the village. And they do not listen. They don't act into our request. We don't know what we have done to them. They refuse to come to our aid. Please and please, we are pleading to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Kwara State government, and the chairman of Patigi local government that they should come to our aid and rescue us from the hands of these people. As you can see, the whole community is empty. No single person in this community. Even I that is speaking presently, I just sneak in this afternoon to come and see the status of the community. And to be honest with you, nobody in this community, I'm telling you, no single person in the community, the whole community is empty. All the houses are there, but no single person in the houses. We don't know what we have done to the government, and they refuse to come to our aid. These people are terrorizing us day by day. More than 15 days now, these people have been terrorizing us. About a month ago, they come and eliminate some people in the community. We do not care. We take it at that maybe it is over, but now what they are doing to us is worse than what they have been doing before. Day after day, they do come in. They will eliminate. They will kill. And even some of your valuables, they will carry them away. We don't know what we can do anymore. If you have a new bike in this community now, you are danger, because they will be hunting after you day after day. They will be monitoring your movement. Once they know that they see you where they could not, where nobody is around, they will attack you and collect your bike. And those people, they are in the bush. They are in the bush coming with sophisticated weapons. They have sophisticated weapons that we do not have. How can we confront them? We can't confront them. And even present as I'm speaking with you, I am in the compound of the village head. As you can see, no single person, even the village head, is not in the community, because everybody fled for their life. Everybody is no more in this community. Please, I'm pleading to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Kwara State government and the chairman of particular local government that they should come and rescue us from the hand of these people. These people, they are busting day after day. And even though if you try to comfort them, they will send a message to you that since you know that since you said that you are powerful, you can comfort them. They are coming back for you. What will you do again? It's for you to run for your life, for your safety. We don't know what we have done to the government. Maybe they don't care about us or what happened. We don't know, but we are pleading that.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man. I am Tiagasa. They Tiagasa. Him. He fell. He fainted. He passed out. He passed out. 70 years old man. But
now, if Maiyegun says that Tinubu and his gang have failed not just Nigerians now, but they have actually failed, he personally has failed the Yorubas. But limiting it to failing the Yorubas, as some would love to push their narrative that Tinubu is favoring the Yorubas. Under Bokwari, several communities in Ogun State had to run straight to Benin Republic, a community called Pobe. They had to run on foot, kilometers in the bush, in the middle of the night. Those who couldn't were killed and slaughtered till tomorrow. There's no single word from Ogun State government. Right? And of course, recently, where they killed over 50 people in Katsina, in a mosque. There's no word from Tinubu. Under APC, Aregbe, there are areas called ungoverned areas. These are areas where you don't find any security at all, but there are people there, and they have now been surrendered to the rules of these terrorists who continue to tax them. They tax them, collect from their farm produce, they tax them before they are allowed to plant, they tax them before they are allowed to harvest, and even in the midst of all of that, they still kill them whenever they suspect that they are informants for government. So people never wins. People have the real pawn on their chess table, and the government continue to be on the side of the terrorist. Communities have been emptied. In Kaduna, they had communities where after they chased the people away, these terrorists settled in those communities, those crime scenes, and they are still there. So when you see videos like that, it is just to remind you that whenever we continue to point out all these lapses, it is because there are real life victims. There are real humans who are victims, whose lives have been altered by all of this violence. People whose communities have been ransacked and attacked, and they have been forced to move. They've altered their lives. And they were supposed to be protected by government, but they are not. All these videos that you are seeing, they are just the SOS, save our soul, calling for help. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, of communities who have fallen into the hands of these terrorists. From Niger State to Katsina to Kaduna to Sokoto to Kwara. It is the same treatment, violence, killings, destruction. And what we hear all the time is how they are graduating repentant terrorists. People are not allowed to defend themselves. If for any reason you gather yourselves to defend your community, that is when the military will show up. But if you remain very powerless, crying every day, right? You are on your own. So it is so complicated, right? And then when you look at these rogues on TV, giving themselves a credit for the job they have failed to do, then they turn around and tell the people that the people should be grateful that if they were not doing what they are doing, these terrorists would have overrun the country. Controlled terrorism, state-sponsored terrorism. That is not fighting insecurity or fighting terrorism. Trying to force a different narratives and lies and the rest of that just to push lies, while the real life victims are being ignored or being called liars or exaggerators, or they are just exaggerating it, all for political office holders to look good. It is so sad, right, that these criminals, they will be more quicker to arrest that guy that made the video than they would go after the terrorists. It is that bad, unfortunately. So maybe almost finally, I don't know how many of you will know that Tinubu has been withholding the Osun State local government allocation for a while now. In case if you don't know, let me rejig your memory, right? I think it was sometimes last year, right? Okay, let me give you the backstory. So when the Jackson, Governor Ajogbafida of Osun, became their governor, his predecessor, that is Oyetola, Tinubu's nephew, Abina cousin, was the governor. That was the predecessor. So when Oyetola was leaving, right, Oyetola hurriedly conducted the local government election. Since he didn't conduct any throughout his time, so he quickly conducted one, and APC, Aregbe, cleared all the local government areas. So when Adeleke became their governor, he dissolved the local government. That means he cancelled the election. So the APC chairman now went to court to challenge that decision in court, while Adeleke said it was a booby trap set for him by Oyetola. So the court should make sure that his decision stands. So the court ruled in his favor, I think. And those ones went on an appeal. While they were going on an appeal, Oyetola decided to, well, he's already appointed his own guys, right? He himself didn't conduct any election since there is a case in court. Then the appeal ruled in favor of the APC chairman. Adeleke appealed that to go to, I think, Supreme Court or something. So maybe Supreme Court now ruled finally that the APC guys should go back to the office. So by that ruling, by the time the Supreme Court was going to deliver his own judgment, Adeleke was already planning to conduct election, because there was a prior Supreme Court judgment that said that any state that failed to conduct local government elections should not be paid the local government allocations. So Adeleke was now plotting to legitimize his own appointees by conducting local government election. That was when the Supreme Court delivered the judgment that those APC guys, they were duly elected and they must be returned. Voila, constant. You remember that? Are you kind of remembering now? Yeah, they killed themselves when the APC guys wanted to forcefully take over the local governments following the Supreme Court ruling. But Adeleke's men were like, no, you can't take this local government. It's impossible, this, and that. At the end of the day, it all ended in deadlock. It was an opportunity for Tinubu to now, right, pull his weight. He just ordered his own finance ministry not to release local government allocation to Osun State. I think they've not released that since March. Yeah? And it is unconstitutional, by the way, but the same Tinubu appointed a sole administrator after removing an elected governor of Rivers State, the full Bara, right? He appointed a sole administrator and he ordered with immediate effect that the local government allocations of the state should be released to Abom, right? So Adeleke is now saying, how is that legal? And what I have done is not legal. It is a legal logjam. Ozekome has something to say about that.
The federal government needs to understand and be on the same page, legally speaking, based on all of this back and forth. If the Attorney General's office is saying, we are trying to understand what the court is saying on this matter, and so far, we cannot release the fund. And if it's political, should the people of the state be punished?
Now, it is
by the withholding of the allocation.
Let me tell you, it is highly political. Because the Attorney General wrote a letter dated March 21, to the Minister of Finance and the coordinating Minister of the Economy to release the funds due to the local governments to the APC. Officials of whom he knew very well had been sacked from office and never reinstated by any court of law. He knew that. The Bola Tinubu administration, with all respect, should be guided by history so that we do not become like the Bourbons of European history that learned nothing and forgot nothing. As governor of Lagos State, he challenged the withholding of funds meant for Lagos State by the then President Obasanjo government. The Supreme Court held that the federal government could never withhold the funds meant for local governments in the state. That all you could say is that Lagos State has 20 recognized local governments. The creation of additional 47, the funds will not go to them, but the funds must be released. So I would have thought that if the Attorney General gave proper advice, proper guidance, which is his role as protector and defender of the national kill, the national will, the people's interest, I do not see President Bola Tinubu, who himself is a right in his own right, and say no. And let me say this: if the Attorney General failed to give the President the right advice, it is a failure on his part. And if he did give that advice, and Mr. President refused, all he needed to do is to resign from office. If I'm Attorney General and I give advice to the President, which I know is grounded in law, and he refuses to take the advice, I will resign. When Darie was removed from office, I wrote an article then. Yes, President Jonathan, you can declare a state of emergency. You can declare a state of emergency in a state. But you cannot remove a governor from office. A governor can only be removed under Section 177. And the then Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Bello Adoke, advised President Jonathan a state of emergency could be declared based on the clear and present danger facing us. But you cannot remove a governor. And of course, the President abided by that decision. So as of today, after the court sanctioned fresh elections in Osun State, and the elections were held, and the PDP councillors and the chairmen are in place, they ought to receive their allocation.
I don't know why.
There should be nothing barring it at all.
I don't know why I put thing.
Okay. So why is Tinubu acting as a dictator? Your fake constitution. Yeah. It is your fake constitution that gives him that power. Because inside that fake Decree 24 of 1999, written by the military, handed to their civilian partners in crime. And since then, they've been doing different amendments here and there. But guess what? Goodluck Ebele said, if he was to use his power as enshrined in that constitution, that they use all those big words to hide, he said if he was to use 10% of the power of the president in Nigeria, there will be a dictator. Like a dictator. Because everything comes to you. Everything has to come to you. That's why you get to see some of the advisors. You say, Mr. President has directed the police IG. The Mr. President has directed the defense chiefs. The Mr. President has directed who? Why is he directing everyone? Why does anyone need his direction? Because in that your fake constitution, the power revolves around just one person. All of those institutions you have, they are just mere decorations, appendages of a dictator. No amount of amendment can change that. Nozeko may also say something on that too, right?
Constitutional amendment, rule of law in light of the NBA conference. I don't know that you are well grounded in this matter.
I'm grounded in it.
But the question here, the lesson I want us to learn and perhaps to give is this issue of local government of a very sore point in our history.
What we should do for next system in 1976 in Nigeria? It became a third tier of government. The federal government, state government, and local governments.
But there are those who argue,
and there
are those who argue that is not a thought.
No, it is.
That as a federating unit, the state, how the federating unit stand in the 1999 Constitution. The federating unit stands at its own, on its own, and the affairs of the federating unit should not be interfered by the central government, as though he can be able to determine. And these are some of the arguments made by the Bola Tinubu administration in Lagos, that the states should be allowed, and Osun State also pushed that debate in court when they follow the Lagos debate on how the federating unit should be able to determine its own destiny.
Let me say this. The federating units in Nigeria are federal government, the states, and the local governments. And you can find them. Nigeria is a federation made up of 36 states and 774 local government areas. And even section 162 of the Constitution, which establishes the state joint local government account, realizes that there are 3 tiers that you have to share money to. That was why at the 2014 National Conference, we argued, the 492 delegates, that we should make Nigeria a 2-tier government, federal and state. But as of today, I want anyone to challenge me on this. Nigeria is a 3-tier federation, not 2. And coming to this issue I discussed before, let me emphasize this point, that the position of the Attorney General is so crucial to our well-being. Under Section 150 of the Constitution, is appointed as the chief lawmaker, law officer of the federation, who can sue and be sued on behalf of the federal government. In some countries, the Attorney General is not only the guardian of the public interest, he can even take up cases on behalf of the people. Now, ministers, on the other hand, you will find under sections 147, 148, 149, 150 of the Constitution. They are highly political. They are appointed by the president, and they are to be given functions like the vice president. That's why the people say the vice president is actually a spare tire, because it's left for the president to give him functions like a minister or not. But the Attorney General, again, specifically was created as an office. And under Section 174 of the Constitution, it can institute criminal proceedings, discontinue, and continue. Meaning that he occupies a certain sensitive position.
Very sensitive.
So I am saying here again now that in their constitutional amendment, which I do not believe in, because we continue to amend 1 million amendments times 1 million amendments plus 1 million amendments, cannot kill the Constitution of its original sin of being a military imposition not subjected to referendum of the people. I will never tire saying it. But whatever they are doing, the first thing they will do, if that is the way they still want to go for now, is to separate the office of the Attorney General of the Federation from that of the Minister of Justice.
All right.
The Minister of Justice could be an ordinary minister. He can meet with other ministers at political parties that they love and slogan here. Right. But the Attorney General should be highly professional.
Give me a moment. We need to go on a break.
It's all right. We're also calling it a night too. So I'll leave you with that. And I want to say a big thank you to every one of you again. And yes, to those of you who are like sharing and liking and all that. So we believe that this phase will also pass. And that is the phase where majority of you don't even get the notification that Maiyegun is live, right? So keep sharing and keep subscribing. And of course, to the my donors, thank you very much to every one of you who has kind of like reached out, okay? So if you, by any chance, want to, please use that PayPal. Or better still, if you are within the UK, you can use the diaspora account as well. I'll get it, all right? Thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening or night. And I will see you again. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun mami.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò.
Maiyegun ti dé.
òpùrọ̀ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun mami.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.